Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another Nerds Order Music interview. I am Metal Mayhem, and today I am with two members of the band Echo 7. How you guys doing?
Hi.
Pretty good. Pretty good. How are you, man?
Pretty
doing
good.
Great. Thanks for being here.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's get started with this. Tell me a bit about yourselves.
Go ahead.
Is it
Steph.
ladies first again?
Ladies first. It's always ladies first.
Oh,
we
hey,
have
there's
Justin.
Justin at Canadian Tire. Yay! What's going on, Justin? You made it.
His audio is still connected.
All right, awesome. Well, Steph, go ahead. You do your thing, and we'll let Justin connect there.
Well, as a quick introduction, I'm from Rogersville, New Brunswick in Eastern Canada. I am originally a folk singer who was very happily roped in to becoming a metal singer. So my past is very much performing with my acoustic guitar and just like solo gigs and stuff like that. So I don't know if I have anything else to add.
All right, well then I'll go. My name's Alon McCall. I am the drummer, I guess first and foremost, and then I wear many hats after that for this great band Echo 7. Basically, originally from New York City, moved to Canada about 19 years ago. I've been doing music for a good portion of my life, everything from the music business. So I used to do multimedia marketing for a couple major labels in New York. And then I did some music copywriting. And then when I moved here, I started a production company and recording studio and been playing in bands the entire time, doing all that. And this is our latest incarnation. And so, yeah, that's just me basically in a nutshell.
Nice. Can he hear us?
Can you hear us, Justin? I don't think he can. Can you hear us?
I think that might be a no.
Yeah, I don't want to move on to the next question without him speaking first.
Can you hear us, Justin? Hello.
I hope his audio is connected.
Can we see from here? No, we can't. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh.
But he's got his mask on. That's good. That's good.
That's good.
Guys, stay safe during COVID.
That's right. That's right. Exactly. Hello, Justin.
Test, check.
Can you hear us?
I can't find my Cricut soundboard button, so I'm not gonna. I do a lot of comedy stuff in my free time.
I approve.
I don't want to move on without him talking, though. I'm gonna feel bad.
I know. I'm trying to figure out where he's going too. Like, where are you headed, Justin?
Hopefully to the register.
See, this is why I'm glad we have editing.
Like, I don't know. Is he going to
Editing is
housewares? Is he going to the front of the store? Hello.
You must know.
And his screen froze. Oh,
Wave if you can hear us.
I don't think he can hear us.
This is like a really interesting like video game. It's like first, like I can't make it out. I can't.
It's like VR but backwards.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a good way to put it. I approve. As a gamer, I approve.
Yes.
Can you hear us, Justin?
I think you might have to read.
Oh, I think he's checking out.
Oh. Is he checking out? Okay, all right. I think he's going for the door. I think so.
Adjusting the coat, grabbing the wallet.
No, I might just make a bloopers thing for the future and use this clip as one of them.
It's kind of gold.
I should definitely do that. I've actually never thought of doing bloopers before.
We have inspired you.
Thank you.
Our greatness
Hopefully this-
has inspired you.
Yeah, hopefully this will take the #1 slot on that reel too. This is This is
I
This is
like
the
very
first
great.
time
I like
for
little
me.
cats walking around, like popping their heads up and shit, like knock you there.
What did he buy? Can we see what? Can we tell what he bought?
It
Paper
looks.
towel.
I don't know.
Looks like industrial paper towel.
Hey, it looks like paper towel. Oh, he's out. Oh, he's out the building. Okay, he's got the one on Mountain Road too. I can tell.
This is why I love like stuff like this. You never know what's going to happen during the recordings.
Can you hear us, Justin? Hello.
Can you turn your headset on so we must hear you, or your headphones, or whatever you're using?
I don't think he can hear us, and I don't think he realizes that sometimes when Zoom starts, you're muted.
Yeah, that does happen every so often.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that he realizes that. I feel like I should like write something on a piece of paper.
Yes. SOS.
Hold on, I'll be right back.
Oh, is he actually? Oh,
I'm
this
like looking for paper.
I'm gonna do like a little behind the scenes thing as it's just posted and just put this clip in there.
Yes.
Okay.
He's actually writing it down.
So turn on your volume.
It's so hard not to laugh. This is great.
It is.
Looks like you're on the paper towels he just bought.
Yes.
Oh, this is interesting.
Oh man, he's not getting it. Okay. Here we go. I'll write. We can't hear you. Hold on.
I think that'll work better.
We can not hear you.
I don't know sign language, and I don't think he does either. Oh,
Now
I think
he's muted.
I think he should be checking his audio. I can see it says he's muted down there in the corner. Oh, nope, we can't. We still can't hear.
Nope.
He's got to turn off his mute button.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely making a bloopers thing after this is done. This is great. This is
Worth
fun.
it.
See, I love it when stuff like that happens. It's hilarious.
It's definitely a great icebreaker.
Come on, man.
Oh, still muted.
What's he saying?
Oh no! I think someone's got to text him for him.
You got to smile and nod.
Is that working now?
Yes!
Yeah.
I don't know why
Yeah.
you muted. I just joined this and allow. I pushed allow and it worked and it didn't work. Holy fuck.
Great.
Holy fuck.
You're totally fine. You're totally fine.
Hey.
Welcome to the interview.
That's what happens when you work under a car all day and in the freezing cold in fucking Canada and you get all crazy cold.
Oh, I understand completely. We got hit with a massive snowstorm here recently too.
Yes.
It didn't need snow. It's like minus 20 something. And it's like under a car and trying to do the power steering lines. It's like not that fun.
Chile.
All right. Well, are we all good now? Are we good?
I think we're good.
we are.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think we're good. Yeah.
All right. The question I was asking them is, tell me a little bit about yourself, and now it's your turn.
I'm Justin Larzy. I'm the guitar player for Echo 7. I have 2 kids, a 7-year-old and a 2-year-old. And I'm actually out shopping right now because I have got my son coming over tomorrow, and I had to do some car work on the car. I do all my work on my own car, so it saves me lots of money. And yeah, I love music. I enjoy just going and doing things.
How'd you all meet? Like, and how'd the band form?
Well,
You know,
Justin and I have known each other the longest. So we met, I would dare say, 3 years ago. And we tried to start a band then. And we have a mutual friend who will remain nameless, who was the lead singer. And anyway, we got together and Justin and I were writing songs. And the lead singer, I think he showed up twice. And that was it. And he never showed up ever again. And so we had a couple songs that we had, put together, and we couldn't find anyone else after that. And so we kind of let the idea go, but we kept in touch. And so anyway, I just kind of got to a point in my life where I was like, you know what, I think I want to start another band. And so I told Justin, hey, I think I'm ready for this. And so we had 3 members of the band who are no longer with us. So bear with me with the story. So we had Daryl, Daryl was, when we had the rap element as a part of our sound, he was the rapper. So I knew Daryl for a couple of years, and I asked Daryl to be part of the band. And he's like, yeah, sure. I don't know anything about being in the band, but I'll do it. And he's like, I think I know a singer. So Stephanie, Daryl, and myself have performed at this local event for mental health awareness. And
I have the shirt on.
Steph has a shirt on. So with Stephen and Daryl have become friends through that show. It happened annually, and we've done it 2 or 3 years in a row. And so anyway, he reached out to Steph, and Steph's like, well, I'm a folk singer. I don't know anything about metal, but I'll do it. And then Steph's like, well, I know a guitar player. And so we had our guitar player before by the name of Andre. And so Andre came on board, and Andre was like, I think I know a bass player. And so he knew a guy named Jamie. And so that was the original lineup of the band when we first got together and released our first couple of songs early last year, excuse me. We released them right before COVID hit. So that was the original configuration. And then during that year, we lost Daryl, Jamie, and Andre. They all had different things going on and different life things going on. So they parted ways. And so now we have a whole new set of people, but our bass player hit us with this information about a month ago that he's moving. So he is now leaving at the beginning of March, and we have a new bass player that we just auditioned last week starting. So yeah, it's a whole thing. Whole dramatic story of this band. So
yeah.
It's our
I'm still
smoothest
going, though.
transition. Yeah,
But
it's our smoothest transition from bass player to bass player yet.
yes, I think ever. He actually showed up. Mike showed up, and he showed up for rehearsal. We did the rehearsal, and then at the end of the rehearsal, he's like, "Yeah, I just want to let you guys know that I've made a decision on moving." And he's like, "I want to tell you guys face to face and give you guys time to find someone new." And I mean, you can't go wrong there. I mean, the man, took the time to tell us face to face and gave us notice, and he's like, "Oh, I'll still play. And like, if you ever need a bass player on the road, give me a call." And very, very nice guy, great guy, super focused. I mean, no issues whatsoever. And I mean, really was a joy having him a part of the band. So hopefully this new guy will be just as pleasant. His name is Gavin.
So far, so good.
So far, so good. Good personality. Seems like he really wants to do this. So hopefully we can keep a configuration and, mesh and get better as a group. That's the goal, right? But, as a band, like it just happens, right? Bands always kind of go through that flux and that kind of the growing pains, and things happen, life happens. So, I mean, you really can't fault anyone for that, but it would be nice to get one set configuration. And I think we're very close. So hopefully this will be it for a bit, and we can grow and create together as a band.
I love that. Sometimes stuff like that does happen, and sometimes it's unavoidable. Just being able to come back from it is what counts, and I love seeing that in new bands.
Sometimes life happens, and you kind of just have to roll with it and figure out what to do next.
Yeah, definitely.
We did a lot of thinking and figuring things out, and I feel like it's going in a positive direction.
Yeah, because for a time, and I know Steph and Justin. It's funny because this group here, we're the longest together in this group, and
Oh, geez.
I mean it was desperate there for a bit. Like when we lost Daryl, Jamie, and Andre, and it was like back to back to back. And it was the three of us, and we're like, okay, what do we do with this? Like, what do we do? We have a singer, a drummer, and a guitar player. Yeah, like what do we? And so it was rough there, and it was crickets for a while. And then I worked with Dylan, or did work with Dylan, and so I reached out to him, and he was interested, and so like I said, and then we got the bass player. So yeah, hopefully this configuration now will be it for a bit. But I think life does happen, but I think that we've adapted well. I'm really happy that we've maintained this even through all this. To have a band and then have a pandemic hit and still try to keep everyone's interest is really hard, right? Like it's hard when people are like losing their jobs and trying to figure out life shit. It's hard, and I really appreciate that everyone stuck around and has believed in the project and believed in the music and still wants to do this. So I'm thankful for that. And I think if we can get through this, I think we can get through anything as a band, honestly. I don't think there's anything else that can be thrown our way that we won't be able to get through. The road to be a joke and a cakewalk after this pandemic. Let's just say that.
Oh, definitely. Without a doubt.
Yeah, that'll be nothing compared to what we've had to go through with this pandemic.
Yeah. What got all of you into music? Where did it start for all three of you? Oh, she turned her mic off by accident. There we go.
That I had to cough.
You can answer that one first, Steph. Always ladies first.
What was the question?
The volume just all went down for everybody. I can't even hear you guys again. And I didn't touch nothing that would do the volume change. I don't get this. I don't think the Zoom likes me.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear us?
I hear you so low that, and I'm trying to Bluetooth into my system. Like it's supposed to automatically go to it. It's not letting me even do it. It's telling me to do it, connect it to it, and it's not letting me connect it to my system. So I don't get Zoom hates me. Maybe Pixel XLs don't work with Zoom.
Zoom is.
It's interesting. It's
interesting.
Yeah.
This is like, what the hell?
To say the very least, Zoom is an interesting program.
Because we did Skype or whatever. It wasn't letting me use that either. Like it was kicking me out of Skype. Like
I miss the old Skype days.
Phones like me.
I miss the MSN Messenger days.
Oh my goodness.
Do.
No, the old pagers.
Oh, listen, I used to do, and I think I used to do the Yahoo chat rooms. Yes, the Yahoo
Me
Messenger.
too.
Oh my
And I had
goodness.
this, and I loved when someone came out with this program that allowed you to have all your messengers in one messenger. So I would have my Yahoo, my MSN, my ICQ, all in one messenger, and it would go ahead and sort them out in different tabs.
Yeah.
That was a breakthrough for me because then I could go ahead and just chat clear across every platform and had no issues.
Are you good, Dustin? Is everything good now?
Yeah, I figured it out. It's like my phone's doing, I don't know. It turned off my data earlier. I don't know, maybe something's something that hates me today or something. I don't know.
I mean, we only got the nice CIA agents looking through our phones. Hi, government.
Well, you never know. You never know with me. No, I'm just joking.
All right, I'll repeat the question. Where did music start for you guys? What got you into this?
For me, I don't know. I always wanted to play guitar all my life, and even when I was a kid, I used to just strum with the hand and everything. Not even have the guitar, and then picked it up, and I just wanted to play it. That's something I've always wanted to do, and I just kept going at it. And I listened to a lot of Frank Zappa. That might have helped. A lot of Jethro Tull, kind of the older stuff, and John Petrucci music, and I just made me want to try it even more, just the sounds that they were playing. I taught myself how to play and just by ear and listening and just playing around. I'm a lefty that I play a right hand guitar, and I just I don't know. I picked it up really fast.
That's good.
But I don't know.
I I can go next.
Right.
For me, it's kind of interesting because I had a folk music start. So I kind of grew up. My parents really liked classic rock, so I was very thoroughly exposed to a lot of classic rock. But on my own, I really like softer folk music, like Kate Rusby from the UK and Great Big Sea and things like that. But my sister was a huge metal fan, so I got a lot of knowledge through her from certain groups, and I started liking certain groups like Iron Maiden and things like that. She exposed me to a lot of things I wouldn't have been exposed to otherwise. So that was kind of my primer into music. So once I was asked to join a metal band, it was kind of like pulling back from older experiences from being a teenager and remembering how much I liked metal during that time and kind of bringing it back into my current life.
Nice.
Wow, let's see. What got me into music? Well, my parents were both musicians. My dad was a singer and guitar player. My mom was a bit of a songwriter, and she sang as well. So my dad was one of these like guys in the 80s that had like a couple record deals, and so he had like little independent records and did that. So I kind of was in music from like day one. For myself, I guess when I was in high school, I started writing my own songs, like whatever songs you can write in high school. And so, just kind of dabbled in that. But I've been playing drums since I was like 5, I guess. Someone told me I've been playing drums that long. So I guess I was this little kid in the drum set driving my parents crazy when I was a kid. And it just kind of just, it's always been there, right? Like it's always been something I've always been interested in. Like I became a recording engineer when I was like 21. And so I kind of like took the path of more like the business and the back end of music, as well as like trying to pursue the rock star end of music at the same time. So I just kind of got in where I could and just learned what I could. But I've always loved being in a band. I've always loved creating music. I've always loved writing songs. It's just something that's kind of always been there. And it's when you have it, and I think all of us can attest to this, when you really want to do it, it's a fire that just never leaves. No matter what path your life takes or what job you get, you always want to do music. So that's kind of
it's always there.
Yeah, it's always every time, right? Like I remember one time my mom was like, "Oh, you know what? Like my mom was worried about me being a poor musician." And that's understandable. I mean, that's a mother thing to do. And she was like, "You know what? You could just be a music fan." She's like, "Why don't you just like subscribe to some music magazines and buy some CDs and like get a real job, because I don't want to see you broke and a musician." And I know she meant well, and I get that, but when you're a real musician and when music is really in you, watching it and being a spectator is never good enough. You always have to do it. And that's just what it is, right? So it doesn't matter where my life has gone. I've always gone back to playing drums. I've always gone back to being involved in it in some way. So here we are.
Nice. What made you guys think of the band name?
Oh, that's all me. Yeah, that's all me. There's no real deep meaning behind the name. And you know what? I feel like I should come up with some deep, like cryptic meaning at this point. I think this is the second interview we've done where someone's asked that. And I give the same answer. It's just, I've always wanted a band named Echo. And so Echo 7, the 7 just kind of, it flows. It looks good in print. It looks great on posters. It's one of those things where I was like, you know what, it looks really good. And so we have the underscore in front. That's my little nerdy, side of me where it looks like a DOS prompt. So I just thought it was pretty cool. And, anyone who was like nerdy and techie would be like, oh, that they would get that. So I was like, you know what, I like that. So, and it just makes it interesting. It makes it different. Right. So, but the name really has no deep meaning. There's no cryptic, deep, dark meaning to the name Echo 7. It's just a cool name. And it kind of embodies, like I said, what I've always wanted a band to be named. And so that's basically it. There's no other reason or rhyme behind it. But maybe we should, though. I think maybe maybe we should come up with something mystical or something about
Something
this.
theatrical.
Yeah, something theatrical to give us a reason.
Definitely a good idea, honestly. And I've loved the music you guys already released. I fell in love with the song "I Am the Tree." What's the meaning behind that song, actually?
That's all Steph. She wrote that one.
So I wrote that song. It was actually mostly inspired by Alon's previous writings and our previous songs, that I wanted to keep the same kind of lyrical momentum to it. And it's basically just a song about being strong in the face of adversity, essentially. Because I am strong, I'm the tree. You're not like a little blade of grass or something. You're a big tree. Trees are pretty powerful, but there are references to like crowned like a lion and stuff like that, to like things that are strong and represent strength.
Definitely.
So it's basically a song about having strength in adversity.
I like that. I like that a lot.
I'm glad she did too, because I had nothing when it came to that song. I had nothing. I told them all, I'm like, I can't stand this riff. I don't like it. I came up with nothing. I was going a blank. I'm like, I don't know what to write. And Steph's like, oh, I'll try my hand at it. I'm like, please do that. And yeah, it was perfect. I could not have written a better song to go with those riffs. It just works so well. It's nice. I'm glad that we have, another songwriter in the band, because there are going to be times when I'm like, you know what, I can't. There's nothing I can do. You know what I mean? Yeah, I just, but so with some songs, like her imagery is something that, like, I'm very much I won't say I'm literal, but I'm very much more like an alternative 90s grunge metaphoric writer.
Yeah.
I'm not big on symbolism, and that's something that I see that Stephanie has that is I just don't have. And
I try to tone it down a little bit.
Yeah, but it works so well for because the riff is so 80s influence heavy. Like when you listen to it, it's just such like an Iron Maiden type of
Power.
song. Yeah, it's starting from like the first riff. We just go. It's a nonstop train. Like when you listen to Tree, you're jumping on a moving train.
Yeah.
Right. It's nonstop from beginning to end, and it just fits. Like it's one of those things where it just her lyrics and her imagery just fit the song so well. And everyone who hears it loves it, and they love what she's saying, and they love the message in it, and it's been a really, really good song for us, and so we're just going to try to capitalize on that and continue the momentum. But yeah, no, it's good to have someone else to write, because I can't do it all. I can't.
Honestly, whenever I listen to music, I like to study the lyrics to get the meaning of it, and hearing that specific song, I'm just like, I can see it. It's beautiful. Honestly, that's how I've always been. I've always looked deep into each song I listen to, whether it be metalcore, metal, rock, folk. Like I've listened to a lot of different genres, and I always love looking into the meanings of the songs.
Yeah, I mean, songs should have meanings, right? I mean, that's kind of what draws you to a song.
Exactly.
There should be something there to take away from that song, and that you can relate to, in your life or in what you're going through, and I mean, it's good to hear that our songs are doing just that. Like, we definitely don't write bubbly pop songs that aren't saying anything,
Exactly.
So
that's
good.
Try to have a little bit of substance.
A little bit of depth. Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah.
That's why I love metal. It's just like there's actual meaning in the music.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Goodness. How would you guys describe the music you create?
What would you say, Steph? Oh, Justin, what would you say?
Well, I mean, like when we did Gunnin', like that was like when I wrote that, it was like when I was writing for my son, like because I like a couple of things were going on in my life, and I was losing them, and I end up getting them back and everything. But it was like that kind of a feeling to it. That's why I made it so light, like so light at the beginning, but then with a little bit of roughness to it. And then I think you had made lyrics to it for your son, I do believe. And then would have been Daryl had wrote for his son also, I think it was. So we kind of blended in as being like a family, like for our children. Kind of like, I guess that mostly everything else is like kind of like just like everything is like more is heavier all around. Like we just wanted to be heavy, kind of.
Yeah.
We didn't have a bass player at the time when we wrote that in the beginning. It was like, so I played a lot of drop C stuff. So to give it that beefier sound to it.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess
everything with a little bit of motion, a little bit of meaning, but I tend to write like on the fly when it comes to a lot of stuff. And then we work from there and then we make we create the whole, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, our sound is definitely a combination of, I think, all of our influences. Like, I mean, I think we really, you know, and I could be wrong, but I try to make sure that we all incorporate something that we like, or in the songs, right? Like, you don't want to create songs where it's like you feel like you're playing a cover, right, or someone else's idea, right? So like, we kind of want to make sure that, you know, lyrically it makes sense, you know. So like when I write a song, like the melody is just a template. I'm not the one singing it, right? So Steph has full range to go ahead, and if she needs to drop it an octave, if she needs to do whatever it's going to take for her to be comfortable with that song, you know, she does. You know what I mean? So it's like it's making sure that everyone gets to put their personality in. So this way it definitely reflects us as a band. It's not just, you know, Justin writing the songs or me writing the songs or Dylan writing this. It's not just that. It's literally all of us just saying, okay, I like this or I like that, and putting it together. Because it is important that we all have a piece of the songs, right? Like, because this way we'll perform it better if we have a personal attachment to it. And so we definitely try. I mean, I say we try as if, but we really don't. It's not a really concerted effort. It just happens. But that's how we create. We just want to make sure that everyone's got a piece of the pie and in the whole complete song. And so far it's working. So
I love that. That's beautiful.
That's the nice thing about being a vocalist in this group, because I've been singing for a long time, and it's nice to have suggestions and to have ideas, but to not be limited in production. Like, I don't have someone saying like, sing this exactly this way and do your vibrato right here, hold this note. I have free range over what I want to do, and the more we rehearse the songs, the more I become comfortable with them, and I find little variations I can do that I eventually put in the recording. So it's very chill.
Like we're doing Redux versions of 2 songs. The first one will be out at the end of this month, but the second one that we're doing, like she came to rehearsal one day and she's like, yeah, I'm working on like 5-part harmonies for the second song. And I'm like, okay, fine.
Nice.
That's my thing.
You do your thing. So I mean, it's things like that where, you know, that's what Stephanie does. Like you know, that's what she does. So I'm, you know, I'm not a vocalist. I trust her judgment. I trust her creativity. And I know it's going to work. Right. So, and that's a beautiful thing too, right? Like,
and now back to your regularly scheduled program.
All right, let's continue where we left off.
Okay.
Now, someone was talking about what goes into the music.
What's that?
I think we left off about you and her explaining what goes into the music and how you all take parts in it.
Oh yeah, no, we were just saying that. I mean, I was just saying that, you know, we just try to, you know, in the creative process, just try to make sure that everyone has their piece put in. Right. So like I you know, encourage everyone to, like, you know, write riffs, write lyrics, you know, record them, you know, even if it's only like 4 bars, you know, record it and, you know, bring it to rehearsal and we'll piece it together. We'll make a song out of it. You know, just I think it's important for everyone to feel like the band is a creative space, and a very free creative space and a non-judgmental creative space. So, and that's important to me because I want everyone to feel like they can, you know, bring ideas, and have opinions on ideas. You know, if they like it, don't like it, want to change it. So it's definitely just making sure that everyone has a personal piece of each song. And again, it just adds to our style and our you know, and hopefully that'll set us apart, right, from other bands in the genre, right? That hopefully that'll make our sound unique enough where it's familiar but different.
Yeah,
You know, and I think that's what we're trying to go for.
I like that. That's actually a really good way to put it. And having everyone contribute to each song, whether it be vocals or anything, really is what really makes music like this wonderful. Because everyone puts a personal part of themselves into it. I love that.
Yeah, well, yeah. You know, if you don't let each individual, like, you know, put their input in, well, it's going to be one person's band, and it's not really a band. It's like you're just yourself.
Yeah.
And we want to try to avoid that.
Yes.
It's not as fun. Be like that.
Yeah. I mean, with everyone contributing, it makes the whole thing a lot more worthwhile.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah, and then you also put your own stuff in. Like some of us, like you were saying, like Stephanie, she's a folk singer, so she's not really singing folk music, but she's putting her intake of all that into it. Like I love heavy metal over like everything, so I put my heavy metal background into it. So if I was like a rapper, like Daryl was, and he put his, but he made it flow with like when he was with us, he made it flow like it was a part of like the metal scene.
Yeah.
That's great. I love that. I love seeing how different genres and different people who do different genres can come together and make some really good music. I love seeing that.
Yeah, that was the intention, but it works.
Another band I work with did the same thing with one of their songs, and the beginning of it had like a little rap vibe to it, and it went just straight into metal. Like, and the flow was just smooth as water.
Yeah. I mean, it can work. Like, I mean, when everyone is being open to ideas, it definitely can work, right? Like, and I think for me with this project, I'm really happy that we are all from different segments of music. Like, I've had bands in the past where, you know, we were all, you know, grunge metal musicians, and we were all, you know, rock musicians, and I mean, that's great, and that works, but it's definitely nice to have different perspectives, right? Because it allows us to check each other. You know, like if something's not working, if someone is not, you know, deep in that genre, they're going to know whether it works or not, right? Like, because they're listening from the point of the music listener and not the music creator, right? So if I suggest something and someone's like, that's instant feedback for me, right? Because they're looking from the outside in, where when you're all in the same genre, it's kind of hard sometimes to see the forest for the trees, as they say, because everyone's in that genre. But when you're, you know, from folk, from metal, you know, from symphonic metal like Dylan, it's different. So if it's like, case in point, we're mixing the second single after this one we're dropping here in about a week, and I sent over, I'd written a string line for it, some orchestration for it, and I sent it in the group chat, and Dylan, who likes symphonic metal, that's his thing, he's like, it doesn't sound that great to me. And at first I was pissy. I was like, the fuck you mean it doesn't sound great? I just spent hours on this shit. But after thinking about it, you know, he's correct. Like, he would know, right? Like, I don't know that world. He knows. And listening to it, he's telling me, look, it's not good enough. And so anyway, I went out and I upgraded my samples and blah, blah, blah. And so I think he'll be very happy now. But that's good, though, because now I've taken it to another level that I wouldn't have taken it to if he was on the same wave as me, right? Because then it would have just been that. But because of that, and him checking me and saying, listen, that's not the sound that it needs to be, it forced me to level up and to do better. And, you know, so I mean, little things like that, where I think that's important in a band. And I'm very glad that we have that in this collective, because I think that's going to help us a lot in what we do and how we do things, and you know, and how we move forward, right? So
most definitely. Most definitely. I hear stuff, but it's like you guys are even more into tune than I am. But I know what I play the guitar and I give it to you all I can give you, and I get better every time I come, and I don't give up. That's how I play.
That's the important part.
Exactly.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's all that matters.
We had some rough times there. Like I'm not gonna lie.
We've had rough times, but nothing like absolutely
No,
horrendous
no.
or anything. But our philosophy is that every time something goes amiss, we talk about it. We always
Yes.
bring it up. We have a Facebook group chat or we have a call. If someone has an issue, we bring it up. We don't let it bubble because that creates worse issues. So
Yep.
we bring it up, we put everything on the table, we delve all into our opinions, and we just talk it out, and usually it works out.
Yeah,
So
and
far
that's
so
another
good, actually.
yeah, and that's another thing that I'm really really happy about with this band is that communication that we've always had. Like I mean, you know, like Steph just said, you know, we air it out, and I mean that's the key, right? Like, you know, you can't let things fester and lurk behind the scenes, right? That's how things are going to fall apart. That's how, you know, and we've lasted again this long through this pandemic and everything because of this.
Yeah.
You know, because when things have come up, we've just said, listen, I'm feeling this way. You know, I don't think this is fair. I don't, you know, I'm not cool with this. And again, it's about everyone being open and just being honest, but also not being judgmental and understanding and seeing things from everyone's point of view, you know, and just realizing that, you know what, this needs to be a place where we feel comfortable, not only musically, but we have to be comfortable with each other. Because I mean, the end goal for this is for us to be a working band, right? Like to be a functioning, touring band.
We're
You're
gonna
not
spend a
gonna
lot of
last
time
on-
together.
Exactly. You're not going to last on the road or in a bus if we can't communicate, right? Like if something's going wrong or, you know, someone's getting a bad vibe about something, you know, there's got to be that place where they can come and say, hey guys, I'm feeling this. I think this, I saw this, you know, whatever. That has to be like, you know, we have to have that. And I mean, you know, we're all mature adults, you know, we come together, we talk, we air it out. And, you know, I use the poll function in the Facebook chat quite often.
Yes.
That's a good way to put things to a band vote.
It is.
And you know what, it works out well. It works well. And it's so far so good. And hopefully it continues. And you know, I really think that the way that we're going, we will be able to achieve what we want to achieve. So that's our plan.
I like that. You'd be surprised how many bands fall apart because of lack of communication. I'm glad seeing that some bands do take that very seriously.
Well, you have to. I mean, I think it's something that you can't neglect, right? Like you can't assume that everything's okay. You can't assume that everyone's going to automatically be comfortable to talk to you, right? Like just because you create music together doesn't mean I'm going to like talk to you about shit, right? Like they're two separate things. You know? Yeah, they're two separate things, right? And I just, you know, these are very interesting times and things are stressful for everybody. You know, so you got to be open and you got to be able to communicate and talk. And, you know, and I think especially not to point out that she is a girl, but with the lady at the helm, you got to make sure that there is communication and that things are going well and comfortable for everyone. You know, I don't want Steph throwing a microphone at me one day and being like, no, fuck you. You know, that's the
Microphones are
last
expensive.
thing. They are expensive. I'm glad you realize that. Yeah, no, I don't want that, right? Or her like, you know, smashing her guitar. Like I don't want to find out that way that
My guitar is
wrong.
expensive.
Right. Or I'm trying to think of something cheap that you would be holding on stage. I don't know.
Smash.
Yeah.
Throw my coffee at you or something.
Yeah. I don't want you to thank you. I don't want her throwing a coffee at me one day to find out that something's wrong, right? Like that's not the way I want to find out. right? So it's just better this way, and yeah, we've had good success. We you know, we've been really fortunate that all of us listen. We all understand. You know, we try to accommodate, you know, whatever comes down the way. There is nothing that can come along that's like fatal or drastically detrimental, right? It's just I mean, it's I don't know, man. I just know that I'm happy with how things are going, and I'm very happy that we all get along. That's very important for us, that we all get along. And I think that we know, like, even like looking for a bass player, like, you know, it's personality first and then everything else. Like, you can be a great musician and an asshole, right?
Yeah.
Like that's everywhere, right? So, but if you've got a good personality and you're an average player, I'd much rather have that, because we can teach you what you need to know, right? Like, you can learn the songs, but I can't give you a new personality. I can't give you common sense. I can't, you know what I mean? We can't teach you those things, right? We can't teach you to respect, you know, the other members of the band. Like, we can't teach that. So that's more important to us than anything else. And I like the fact that we are thinking long term, and we're thinking about the bigger picture of how to sustain this going forward, right? Because if we get this solid and down now, then we can, you know, that'll just become habit of how we interact, and then everything else will just be, you know, on the side, and we can get everything else done. So I think as long as, you know, when money and success come, we don't lose that, we should be okay.
Definitely.
Hopefully.
Fingers crossed.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, everything I've heard so far, I do see a lot of good things coming for your group. Everything I've heard so far, I've loved.
Well, thank you. That's good. That's good.
You're doing the right thing, Alan. You're saying the right words.
I sincerely hope we've put a lot of work into the Redux for everything. We've had to, since we lost our rapper, we've had to rewrite lyrics and rearrange songs. And the Redux, I hope it will be as impressive as I think it is.
Yeah,
I feel it's pretty great.
It's a big risk, and I you know, like, to go back into, because the Redux is redoing our first two singles.
Yes.
And so, I mean, you know, you take the risk of putting out what technically is old material, hoping that it's going to be well received again, and that it's fresh enough and different enough where people will see it as a whole new song, which I think we've done.
I think so.
Yeah, I think we've done that. I think it's definitely has a different feel and different vibe, and it feels like a whole nother song. But it's something that we just felt after we were able to, you know, rehearse again, and stability came to the band. We just felt that it was the right thing to do, and to kind of, you know, give us, you know, a second start, I guess, in a way. But we've got a video for the song this time. The first time we never got a chance to shoot a video, so we're doing it right this time. So we did a video for this one, and so I'm excited as well. I think I'm more nervous with this release than the others because of what I just stated. I'm nervous. Just you know what? I'm nervous to see because I'm going to send this out to, you know, for some reviews. I'm nervous to see what the reviews are going to be. I think that's where my nerves are a little bit on edge, because I hope they see this as a whole new song, which I think they will. But but yeah, it's exciting though, because we put a lot of work into this, and hopefully it'll pay off. And Tree did really well. We did really well with that. So hopefully this will just continue the momentum, and everyone will like the song as well.
I look forward to it, to be honest. Like, I always love like new music, especially from like the smaller bands. It's always like a sweet treat to hear it, because it's not mainstream. I like, honestly, I've been hating mainstream a lot as of recent, because of how it's like there's not as much heart into mainstream as there used to be. And that's why I like underground a lot more, is there's a lot more heart in it. which is why I loved I Am the Tree and stuff like that. Like that's why I loved it. There's a lot more heart and soul that goes into it. And seeing bands like that make new music is always just it's always a delight for me. It's like a kid in a candy store kind of feeling. Like, ooh, what's out now? What's this? It's like I get immersed in the music. Exactly. I just get totally immersed in it.
Well, that's very good to hear, man. That's very good to hear, and hopefully, you know, everyone will like I said, will receive it well, and hopefully we'll get some new fans out of it, and hopefully, it'll be our biggest hit to date. Hopefully. Maybe we can make another $15 on Spotify.
Maybe.
That's big bucks, man.
I know.
That's how long you think?
My laptop battery is about to die, but as soon as it does, I'm switching to my tablet, so I will be back when it does.
All right.
Okay.
Well, actually, I have like 2 more questions anyway. So,
Okay.
my second question,
right.
well, my second to last question would be, who would you guys love to play with? Like on stage, like who would you love to perform with?
That'd be a Killswitch Engage for me.
Good choice.
I love
my
them.
answer to this, I had to think about it really hard last time, but I think it would be Rush.
Love Rush.
Oh, got an applause there for that one.
Yes.
I'm gonna go with I have 2 bands. It would either be In Flames or Bush, because they're back together.
They are?
And they are. Bush is back together, and they're sounding a lot. They're sounding a lot like their old stuff, and I like it. And just because I loved them as a teenager, I would really like to open up for play with them on stage. I think it would be pretty cool. And you know what? They're not an A-list band anymore, so technically, if they play the casino here, you know, I saw 3 Days Grace at the motherfucking casino, so it's like. It's not like it's a far-fetched dream for me to open up for Bush. Actually, you know what? Bush did play here. They did a grunge fest. It was Bush, Everclear, and I think Filter. There were like 3 or 4 bands on the bill. So Bush has been here. So if they ever come back, I gotta say I would try really hard to get that opening act slot.
Definitely. I would travel up there just to see it. I'm not gonna lie.
I'll let you know. I'll give you a heads up.
I would drive to Canada just to see you guys play. I dead ass would. I mean, I'm in Connecticut, so I'm not that far. It's not like it's far, but it's not like bad.
Yeah.
Canada's pretty close to Italy. We're like neighbor countries, so.
Yeah, no, we're hoping to get to the States there as soon as this border clears up and as soon as things calm down there. We definitely would love to tour down there and hit the States and see what happens.
Definitely. I'm gonna wait for it to load in before I ask the last question.
God dang. There's a lot of sales at Walmart today.
I'm gonna have a lot of bloopers. I love it though. I love it.
I'll get some bloopers there.
Hey, what better way to have fun doing interviews than not to have a bloopers list, right?
Exactly. Everybody's looking at me like I'm crazy right now, so it's all cool. I get it back.
All right, my last question is: what is the future for Echo 7?
Oh wow! Well, the future is we have a new single coming out. So the Everything Redux will be out at the end of this month with the video to accompany it. After that, we'll release our second Redux track, which will be Gunnin'. The future for Echo 7 is just keep creating music, keep putting out videos, just keep recording, keep creating. As long as, you know, we're stuck in this pandemic, just keep putting out music and doing the social media thing and trying to make sure we keep the fans happy and gain new fans and do all that, and maybe try to get creative this year on doing some performances. We'll try to figure it out. If the pandemic lifts and things get back to normal, then the future will be us doing shows, taking the show on the road and really kind of road testing it and do what we have to do to become a name in the industry, right? Like that's the goal. So that's how I see the future for us. Just kind of gaining steam, gaining momentum, and seeing what happens, whether it be management or label or whatever comes down the pipe. But definitely new music throughout this year for sure. No question.
I can't wait. And when you guys do get to that point where you're doing the road thing, you better hit me up and come down to Connecticut, and I will run over there immediately.
Oh, absolutely. Connecticut's, yeah, no, you're only a couple hours away, 10, 12 hours away. We can definitely do that.
Well, if that happens, let me know, and I will rush to that stage immediately. Honestly, I love seeing the bands I work with play. It just adds to the experience for me.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, listen, man, like whenever we get going, whenever they allow us to do it, we'll absolutely let you know. We're going to be down there. We'll do another interview. We'll arrange the whole thing. We'll get it all set up.
Works for me. All right, this has been a lot of fun.
Well, thanks, man.
Oh, no
I've
problem.
enjoyed it. It's
been interesting.
Very. All right, I'm gonna probably end it here. I'm gonna save the footage, and I'm gonna start doing edits.
awesome, man. Well, thank you again. Appreciate it.
It was great having you guys. All of you guys take care. This has been another
Thank you,
Man
man.
Reporter interview. Everyone have a great day and stay safe.
Yeah,
Same to
you
you,
too,
man.
man. Take care.